Alright you guys, coming back at you with another video. In today's video, I want to be talking to you about, what is in my wallet.
What's in your wallet?
Talking to you about my old wallet, my new wallet, and be talking to you about the three credit cards that I currently have, and why I believe these are really the main credit cards that you should have in your wallet. There is a fourth credit card, a bonus card that I am planning on getting. I'm going to talk about the reasons for getting that card. I honestly and truly believe that these are the top three credit cards that anyone should get and should have in their wallet, and I'm going to explain to you every single reason why I believe these are the cards that you should have. All today on Young Money Investments. Alright you guys, so I am not a financial guru in any way, shape, or form, but I have been around the ring, whatever you want to call it, around the racetrack a time or two. And so in today's video, I want to be talking to you a little bit about my wallet. Yes, just like that Capital One commercial that we all remember, I want to talk to you a little bit about the credit cards that I currently use, and why I believe getting a credit card today, if you do not have one, is so crucial and important. So the reason that credit cards are so important is because it starts you in getting a established credit history. If you are 18 years or older and do not have a credit card, I highly recommend you get a credit card. The reason being is because you don't have to use your credit. You don't have to use it, but having one and being able to start putting some expenses on there and paying them off right away, you don't need to hold a balance for months at a time or even weeks at a time. You can pay it off right away. But that is going to start getting you a credit history. And one of the things that I have learned, especially right now in trying to buy a home, is that if you don't have credit, banks aren't going to lend you money. And if you don't have a track record of using credit, banks aren't going to lend you money. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how good of a credit score you might have. If you don't have a credit history, that is really going to get you into a lot of trouble. Now, obviously, just having credit cards is not going to be enough. I do recommend, and this is one of those things that I've learned in my life, is it's important to get a car loan. I mean, getting started with taking out loans, even if you have the money to pay for that car. One of the things I wish I did was that I actually paid some money, took out a loan on a vehicle so that I could get that history and get that credit there. But we're going to be talking about the three cards that I believe are some of the main cards, if you're not at that point yet, that you should have in order to start building your credit. Now, the first card here is the Chase Freedom card. If you can see that one right there. The Chase Freedom card is honestly and truly probably the best beginner card that I could recommend anyone getting. The Chase Freedom card has probably some of the best beginner benefits. You earn 1% back on all of your purchases, and then they have this category that is a quarterly category, and you can probably see all the information over here. In these quarterly categories, you can earn money back at things like grocery stores, you can earn money back at gas stations, which is going to be the main reason I want to talk about this card. And you can earn them at things like Costco, or you can earn discounts, just different places that you might personally shop, and giving you 5% back is a huge bonus. One of the cool things with the Freedom card is that it is from Chase, so a lot of people currently most likely have a Chase bank account. It's nice because you can just transfer your money in, pay off that card simply and easily. You don't have to, send money from your bank to that credit card to pay it off and all those kinds of things. I just like the simplicity that if you have a Chase account, which Chase being the largest bank in America, it makes sense that you would have a Chase account and that you would have this credit card. The biggest reason why I think this is a great beginner card is because it's very simple and easy to get. Also, if you refer someone to get this card, usually Chase offers discounts and things like that. I think when I referred my fiance to get this card, I got $50 when she completed the $500 in spending within the first I think it was 2 or 3 months. She got $150 back. So that's another great bonus of getting started with this card. You get some money back, but the biggest thing are those quarterly bonus periods. Currently right now we are in the month of September. Now this has been running from July, and it's going from the end of or beginning of July, I believe, through the end of September. During this time frame, I have been driving a ton, especially doing summer sales. I spent a lot of money in gas, and also driving all the way from Louisiana all the way way to Utah, to Idaho, to Wyoming, to Idaho, to southern Utah, and back to northern Utah. I've put on a ton of miles, and I've done a lot of driving. And so with that being said, one of the things that has really helped me is that I've been able to make or save money using this credit card. So I think in that period of time, I made like an additional $42 or something like that, just because I put gas. Yes, put gas on this credit card. So that is one of the big benefits of this card, is if there is a certain expenditure, which usually there is some expenditure that you normally spend money on with this card during some period of time in the year, that makes sense to put all of those expenses on that card. All right, guys, the second card that I want to talk to you about is another card that I believe is fairly simple and easy to get for most people, and that is going to be, yeah, you see that right there? That is the Amazon Prime card. So Amazon Prime, one of the reasons I love this card is because of the fact that, again, it is very simple and easy to get. It's not hard. When you sign up with Amazon and getting this card, you get so many dollars for free for how much money you get back just from Amazon for actually getting approved and getting this credit card. Any purchase that I make on Amazon, I use this card. Now, why do I do that? It gives me an additional 5% back. And you're thinking, okay, 5% here, 5% there, does it really matter? Yes, honestly and truly, I put all of my purchases on credit cards and pay them off right away. And it saves me hundreds of dollars every year because I'm using credit as opposed to just using a normal debit card. Not only does that, give me money back, it also helps build my credit. And let's face it, you guys, everyone wants to build their credit. The nice thing with the Amazon Prime card is that you can use your cash back or your savings, your 5% savings, towards buying new items. And one of the things about Amazon is, if you don't shop on Amazon, what rock are you living under? I mean, honestly and truly, Amazon is the king of the jungle in terms of online retail. If you don't have an Amazon Prime account, maybe it's not a good card for you, but I think most people in today's day and age do some sort of shopping on Amazon at one time or one point or another. And even if you don't use Amazon Prime throughout the year, you most likely during Christmas time use Amazon to shop and to save 5% on all of your shopping and all those kinds of things. This card is really a big deal, and so I like it. It does give you, I believe, 2.5% back on dining and things like that, but there is another card that I want to talk to you about that I use for travel and dining and some business expenses as well. Currently, there's another business card that I really want, but that is really the reason that I think this Amazon Prime card is money. All right, you guys, now the final card that I want to talk to you about is a card that has been talked about a lot on YouTube. So if you've heard about this card, yeah, it's not really that big of a surprise, but this is a little bit harder card to get, and that is none other than the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Now, the Chase Sapphire Reserve card is probably one of Chase's more difficult cards to get. Chase has a card called the Sapphire card. The Sapphire Reserve is one of those cards that is reserved for people, I believe, that have a little bit higher credit scores. And so if you have a lower credit score, this might not be a card that you can get. The other con with this card is that you do have I believe it's $100 fee annually for this card. So the biggest con with this card is actually going to be that this card has a $450 annual renewal fee. Now you're going, what? You're telling me that I have to pay $450 to have this card? Yes, I am saying that, but hear me out. So now it is true, obviously, that this credit card is probably one of the harder cards to get from Chase, barring their JP Morgan reserve, crazy you have to have millions of dollar card. This is probably the second hardest card to get from Chase. But with that being said, these are the reasons why it is so beneficial, and Chase has been making a very large push as of recent to get more and more people to have this card. So even if your credit isn't perfect, this card could still be very beneficial to you, and there is a I'd say pretty decent probability that you can still get this card. So taking a look here, it says you get 50,000 bonus points after you spend $4,000 on purchases within the first 3 months from the account opening. Now I understand for a lot of people that's going to be difficult to do, but for those that can do it, 50,000 points is a ton. As it says right here, that's $750 towards airfare, hotels, car rentals, and cruises when you redeem through Chase Ultimate Rewards. Some of the other benefits that happen with this card is that you get a $300 travel voucher when you get this card. So every year that $450 fee is basically offset by $300 if you actually end up buying airplane tickets. So basically if you travel one time a year, you're gonna pretty much take care of that fee because it offsets that cost. Instead of just paying for that ticket, you use your $300 travel voucher. The card costs you about $150 annually, but that's not including any points or any of these other benefits that you get. Some of my favorite benefits with this card is that you get 3 points on travel and dining worldwide. You get 3 times the points immediately after earning your $300 annual travel credit, and 3 times the points on dining at restaurants worldwide. This includes fast food restaurants. So a lot of times for work, I'm putting business expenses anytime I'm going out to eat with any business partner, anyone that I'm looking to become like affiliated with in business. Anytime I'm doing any sort of like recruiting or business meeting type thing with food, I'm using this card because A, it's a tax write-off, but B, it's giving me more money in points. One of the biggest benefits I think of this card that is very undervalued is this 50% more in travel redemption. So you get 50% more value when you redeem your travel through Chase Ultimate Rewards. And honestly and truly, you guys, one of the craziest things with this card has been the fact that I have been able to pay for numerous hotel rental or hotel stays just using this card, and that's after a year of having all those points and everything. I literally have used it, in fact, for this hotel stay right here, right now. I used my points in order to pay for this hotel, and so this card alone, it was like over $200, I think, to stay in the hotel for these multiple nights, and hey, it's all free. One of the big things that I also really liked about the Chase Sapphire Reserve card is the fact that this card gives you a free TSA pre-voucher, so you can actually get signed up for TSA pre to get through all of the security checks and everything for free. So that in itself, I believe it's a 5-year thing, that paid for itself because I had the card. So there's all these little benefits and features that you have with this card that honestly and truly to me make that $450 fee, or really $150 fee after your travel voucher, worth it. Overall, my take on the card is that I have loved it because if you do any sort of traveling, and I know, yes, this year I've traveled a decent amount, but even in past years where I haven't traveled that much, I found that this card has been very helpful and beneficial for me, and I've seen it be very, very useful. It's worth the money, and it's actually saving me and making me more money by actually having this card. I book all my hotels through Chase's website so that I earn 1.5 times the points on there. And one little trick, one cool little trick that you can do using this card and getting its points is you can actually transfer over the points from your Freedom card. So let's say you're getting that 5% cash back and everything on this card. You can take all your points from this and move it over to your Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and then you can take those points. So all these points on here that you were earning like 5% back on and even 1% back on, you transfer it over to the Sapphire Reserve account, and guess what? You now get 1.5 times the value of the points that you would have if you just would have used these to redeem like cash or get gift cards or things like that. That to me, I think, is a crazy cool feature that you can do with these Chase cards, because then you can use it again, like I said, towards travel, towards like airfare, hotels, car rentals, all those kinds of things. And so that is where this card, along with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I think is probably one of the best like 2-card duos you could potentially have. All right, you guys, so this is going to be card number 4, and this is currently a card that I do not personally own. So this is a card that I have heard really good things from a friend that has this, and this is more for business owners. So I currently am starting a business right now where I'm going to be using a lot of money and spending a ton of money. We're talking thousands of dollars every single month in order to do Facebook and Instagram advertising. Now, I could put all that on another card. I could put it on my Sapphire Reserve card, but that's just going to be 1 times those points. It's not really going to multiply. And this card right here is actually a really neat card from none other than Capital One, and it's called the Business Spark card.
What's in your wallet?
So the reason that I think the Spark card is so cool is, let's look at. So the reason I think the Spark card is so cool is some of the features and benefits of the cash back that you get, because no card that I know of does 2% cash back, and we're gonna look at everything you can get right here on the computer. So as you can see here on Capital One's page, you have 3 different business cards. So basically you have the Spark Business, you have the Spark, so you have the Spark Cash, the Spark Cash Select, and the Spark Classic. Some of the big differences are kind of minuscule. Really, I don't like this Spark Classic. I don't think there's any benefit over that, or for that card over any of the ones that we've previously talked about. The Cash Select card, it gives you unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase every day. This is the card you want right here. The Spark Business card is going to be really the one that you want, and that is because it gives you unlimited 2%. Yes, I said 2% back on every purchase every day. Earn a one-time $500 cash bonus once you spend $4,500 on purchases within the first 3 months from the account opening. That is another big deal. Interest rates, yes, they're 19.24%. That's lower than the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. So you're getting lower interest rates than you get on this card, or I think any of the other cards that I've even talked about today, and that's including the Amazon and the Freedom card. So that's a little bit more of a better kind of interest rate, although I don't recommend carrying a balance on any card. And then it talks a little bit about your annual fee. So you do have an annual fee of $95. The first year it's $0. That's super cool. That's super nice. You do pay $95, but come on, you get $500 cash back as opposed to this where you only get $200 cash back. So I would say with the amount of cash back that you're getting on this card, it really makes a lot of sense. And 2%, that is a huge amount. Honestly and truly, you guys, you do not find credit cards that offer 2% unlimited cash back on anything. So for example, you spend $50,000, you're getting $2,000. Well, no, you're getting $1,000 back. You spend $100,000, you're getting $2,000 back. You know, it's just really simple math. I mean, honestly and truly, you're getting a decent return in cash back on this card, and especially if you're putting all that money out there into the web, into advertisement, if you're putting it out there into product, it's nice that you're saving yourself a couple percentage points on that. So I believe that this is going to be a card that I'm going to add to my arsenal as time goes on, and especially for the fact that if you are a business owner, it's a great idea to have a set-aside business card. Just like I use my Sapphire Reserve card just for business expenses and business purchases, this card is just going to be for business expenses. I don't plan on using it for leisure or things like that. Now, kind of finishing up this video, obviously a lot of people are going to be sitting there going, wait, doesn't Citi have some really great cards, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Citi does have some great cards. I do like the Costco card that you can get if you are a Costco member. That is not a bad card to get. I think there are a lot of benefits and rewards to that. If you go to Costco especially, I think that's a good card to get. But honestly and truly, for a lot of younger millennials like myself that aren't trying to buy in bulk, you're not married, you don't have a whole bunch of kids, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Honestly and truly, these 3 cards right here, these 3 are going to be your main cards that you want to have in your arsenal. I believe it's going to save you at least a couple $100s a year, if not more. I know for me, it makes a lot of sense to have these cards. And obviously, as you continue to go on, you might find other cards that work best for you. But for me currently right now, I believe that for most people, the average consumers, these are going to be the best cards. And that's just my personal take. If you have other suggestions though, if you can think of other cards that you've liked, leave those down in the comment section. It's always great for those of you that are watching this video to be able to have other information or other people's information and other people's opinions down there so that you can make the best decisions. But as always, thank you so much for tuning into Young Money Investments, and smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button for more talk on stocks and finance in general. Sorry, I'm filming from a hotel room. I know it sucks, but we'll be back and getting the studio rolling here not too soon. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.